April is National Volunteer Month, and the San Diego County Sheriff's Department actually has hundreds of volunteers from all walks of life that support deputies in keeping you safe. In fact, you probably have seen them at a number of different events or maybe even out in public. So Sheriff Kelly Martinez is joining us right now to talk about that and sort of exactly the importance of volunteers with the Sheriff's Department. And Sheriff Martinez, what is sort of the role there for volunteers within the Sheriff's Department?
Yeah, really, thank you for highlighting this really important group on our department. We do have hundreds of volunteers, everything from explorers who are kids from 16 to age 20. They come out and they, they go through an academy, they wear a uniform, they get to ride along with deputies and help in our offices. The senior volunteers are just really phenomenal and really hard for us to complete our mission without them. They are age 50 and over, and they do everything from taking our cars for service to transporting paperwork and evidence. They go and do YANA checks, which are our You Are Not Alone program, where they check on elderly citizens in our communities, make sure they're safe and healthy. They will do vacation checks, so if you're going to be leaving your home for a period of time, let our station know, and the senior volunteers will come by and check on your home for you.
And do a lot of those senior volunteers have law enforcement background, or do some of them kind of come from different backgrounds and maybe just have a different calling? Yeah,
all of our volunteers are incredible. We have everything from doctors to scientists to people who own orange groves up in North County. It's incredible the breadth of experience that they bring to our department and their backgrounds. And I should really highlight our search and rescue team. They go out and they look for people who are lost, and they're just incredible as well. They spend hundreds of hours every year just helping us.
How does one get involved with the Sheriff's Department?
Yeah, go to joinsdsheriff.net or talk to another volunteer in our communities. Go to a station and ask about the program.
Yeah, and we also know that it's telecommunications. It is Telecommunications Month also as well too, and we know that that's a huge part of obviously of the Sheriff's Department. And so, how does that sort of again play a role here in not only keeping the county safe, but also in the day-to-day responsibilities?
Yeah, so everyone thinks of telecommunications as our dispatchers primarily, and it is, and we highlight their work, but it's also our wireless services division. Those folks go out and they take care of all of our infrastructure and our radio systems, and then our dispatchers and call takers. That's really the voice people hear when you call and need help.
Yeah, and switching gears here, we know that obviously the state of county jails has been something that you have addressed here in both running for sheriff and since you've taken on the role. And one of the things that happened last year is that the County Board of Supervisors approved of having body-worn cameras being used by deputies in all county jails. What's the status of that so far? And if you can speak to how's it going?
Yeah, really we're only one of, I think, 3 sheriff's departments in the state that have body-worn cameras in our jail system. We started this about a year ago. It took a little while to get started. We're in the middle of COVID, so it was hard to get all of the supplies we needed for that system. We also have very old jails that really weren't built for this kind of infrastructure, so it's taken a little while. We've got that system going now at the Las Colinas Women's Jail. We're going to be rolling it out at our central jail very soon, within the next month, and then Vista Jail will be next.
And so what should the public expect from that? Is that purely about accountability there when it comes to the public?
It does a lot of things for us. It helps us understand situations when they occur, but it also has been great at de-escalating situations. Yeah. It's happened in the field where people know they're on camera, they're being filmed, they act differently. Yeah. And that's been really helpful for us. The people in our custody, oftentimes they can be assaultive or have behavioral things going on, and so those cameras help us understand what happened in an incident. It also, they'll recognize that they're being filmed, and it just calms down the situation.
If there's one thing that you can pinpoint to with the overview of the jails, and we know it's a very complicated issue, but what's one thing that you think you still have to sort of figure out, that you still have to find a solution for?
The biggest thing is, decades-old jails. They're very old. The infrastructure is really poor. We have one jail in our system where, the hot water doesn't always work. The toilets back up, the doors don't always lock, or they stay locked and don't unlock. The Vista Jail needs to be replaced, and the George Bailey facility, we're still waiting for the infrastructure to be, the work to be done on that. So really the infrastructure is the biggest thing. It's going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay, well, Sheriff Martinez, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys after the break.
Thank you.